If the ground could speak, a few places would sing about courage on mountains, mercy by the water, and hope that walked out of a grave at sunrise. In the Bible, places become holy not because they're fancy, but because God meets people there. This is a quick tour from a garden to a mountain, from a manger to a cross, from an empty tomb to an upstairs room. We'll meet Abraham, Moses, Mary and Joseph, fishermen who became followers, and Jesus at the center. Before cities, there was a garden where people walked with God without shame. The choice was trust. When Adam and Eve reached for what God forbade, intimacy broke. Yet God's promise remained. Abraham climbs with Isaac, carrying questions heavier than the wood. He keeps walking without knowing the ending. At the last moment, God provides a ram. Moriah says, "Trust steps before sight, and God provides." Newly freed from slavery, Israel camps at Sinai. Moses receives God's law, a compass for daily love. Honor parents, tell the truth, keep promises, refuse envy. Holiness has a shape. Love in community. In the wilderness, God asks for a tent, the tabernacle, to dwell among his people. Later, a permanent temple rises in Jerusalem. What makes them holy isn't gold or stone, it's God with us. Our response is worship. Holiness arrives small. Jesus is born in a stable. Shepherds hurry to see. Mary says, "Let it be." Joseph obeys quietly. Open hearts make ordinary spaces holy. Jesus is baptized by John. Heaven opens. The Spirit descends. The Father calls him beloved. The Jordan is about identification. Jesus stands with us so we can stand with him. By the water's edge, Jesus calls fishermen, "Follow me." He teaches from boats, stills storms, feeds crowds, heals the broken. Ordinary obedience, dropping the net, bringing what you have, opens the door to miracles. In Nazareth, Jesus grows up. In Capernaum, he teaches, heals, and shares meals. These towns are holy because Jesus is there. Kindness at tables, compassion at doors. On a hillside, Jesus maps the good life. Blessed are the humble, merciful, pure in heart, and peacemakers. Salt and light in a hungry world. Under olive trees, Jesus prays while friends sleep. Not my will, but yours be done. Love is costly, and holiness often feels like obedience. Surrender opens the door to peace. Outside the city, Jesus is crucified. The temple curtain tears. The way to God is open. At the cross, justice and mercy meet. He takes our sin. We receive his life. At dawn on the third day, the stone is rolled away. Jesus is alive. He calls Mary by name and breathes peace into a locked room. The garden is holy because it's empty. Hope has a name and a face. About 120 believers wait and pray. Wind fills the room. Tongues of fire rest on each head. The Holy Spirit empowers ordinary people to speak good news. Holiness moves from buildings into people. On the Mount of Olives, Jesus ascends and promises to return. Until then, his followers carry good news to every nation. Wherever people worship God, forgive enemies, welcome strangers, and serve the least, the ground becomes holy. We've crossed gardens and mountains, rivers and rooms, Eden's intimacy, Moriah's trust, Sinai's covenant, Jerusalem's presence, Bethlehem's humility, Jordan's new start, Galilee's calling, Nazareth and Capernaum's everyday kindness, the Beatitudes' blessing, Gethsemane's surrender, Calvary's sacrifice, the tomb's triumph, the upper room's power, and the Mount of Olives' mission. The holiest places are where God meets people who say yes. Holiness doesn't just happen to people. It happens through people who open the door. Walk your Moriah. Take the next faithful step when the ending isn't clear. Enter your Jordan. Turn where you need to. Receive beloved as your true name. Welcome Bethlehem. Make room for Jesus in your routines. Work, meals, rest. Live Galilee. Offer your small loaves and fish, time, skills, resources. Practice the Beatitudes. Choose mercy, peacemaking, and integrity. Pray Gethsemane. Not my will, but yours. Let surrender steady your heart. Stand at the empty tomb. Expect third-day hope where you've given up. Seek the upper room. Ask the Spirit to fill you, to love, forgive, speak life, and move boldly. When we host God's presence, we become moving temples. A kitchen can be as holy as a cathedral if it's where you forgive. A commute can be holy if you pray for those you'll meet. A text thread can be holy if you choose encouragement over cynicism. God didn't wait for perfect settings. He entered a stable, stood in a river, taught from a boat, prayed in a garden, and conquered a tomb. If he met people there, he can meet you here. Whisper, God, make here holy. One day a new heaven and a new earth will outshine every temple and mountain. Until then, walk your city like a quiet priest. Bless what is good, lift what has fallen, light a candle where the wind is strong. Wherever you go with Jesus, the story continues, and the ground beneath your feet can become sacred. We hope you enjoyed Holiest Places on Earth. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel Throne and Kingdom.